Are you staring at your calendar packed with meetings, wondering how the heck you'll ever find time to lose those stubborn pounds? Are you tired of wasting money on fancy diet apps that leaves you hungry and irritable, spending hours meal prepping bland chicken and broccoli, or fighting for a spot on a treadmill at 5 p.m. in overcrowded gyms? Then listen up, because in the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through the Gravitostat activation system, the single most efficient way to lose fat, preserve muscle, and strengthen bones on autopilot, without changing anything in your diet, spending hours at the gym, or counting a single calorie. Now, you're here because you are slightly to seriously overweight and you struggle to lose weight using traditional methods such as dieting and exercise. Perhaps you are able to lose weight, but you are unable to stay lean and inevitably gain the weight back after you've lost it, also known as cyclical weight gain or dieter's dilemma. And you think it's unfair how some people seem to stay healthy and fit without doing anything while you struggle a lot. The good news is that this equation holds the answer. So keep watching, because I'm going to walk you through exactly how it all works and show you how you can activate a part of your body called the Gravitostat to unlock your body's natural fat burning potential. My name is Oscar Hallerud, CEO and founder of Natural Resistance, and we help health conscious people like yourself achieve effortless fat loss and, more importantly, build a sustainable lifestyle that transforms lives. But listen closely, because what I'm about to share wasn't always smooth sailing. After hanging up my basketball jersey due to injury, I watched helplessly as my peak athlete physique vanished before my eyes. From athletic, to skinny, to fat. And trust me, I tried everything the fitness gurus tell you to do. Cramming workouts between endless meetings, spending my precious Sundays trapped in the kitchen, meal prepping, obsessing over every single calorie. But here's the brutal truth. When you're drowning in deadlines and back-to-back meetings, this perfect fitness lifestyle is nothing but a fantasy, so I gave up completely. For a while. And let me tell you, for someone who had lived and breathed peak performance, watching my fitness slip away was crushing. All I wanted was one simple thing, to feel healthy and energized again without having to turn my life upside down. But I knew I had to find a sustainable solution that would work for me. And it was at that point I set out on a long, hard mission that would come to revolutionize the health and fitness industry and take me close to 3 years to complete. I discovered the research from Professor Jan-Olof Jansson, a respected senior researcher from the Sahlgrenska Academy at the University of Gothenburg, and I concluded that their research team were working on something completely groundbreaking. They confirmed back in 2020 a completely new method to lose fat, preserve muscle, and strengthen bones without needing to diet or exercise. In their study, 72 participants managed to lose 1.7 kilos of fat mass, on average, after only 3 weeks of using this method. And if the study had continued for longer, they had been projected to lose up to 10 kilos of fat mass. And this exact same concept has been proven multiple times in different research studies and in different species, including pigeons, mice, and humans. By the end of this presentation, you will understand exactly what this method is and why it works. Know how you can use it yourself to start losing fat automatically without changing anything in your diet or workout routine. Have a proven system to instantly start implementing this method into your life. So keep watching, and if you like it, at the end you can schedule a free consultation where we evaluate whether or not this method can work specifically for you, and if you want it, help to implement it into your life. But first, can you relate? You feel stuck being able to lose weight using traditional fat loss methods such as dieting and exercise. You are perhaps able to lose weight once you set your mind to it, but unable to stay lean and always inevitably gain the weight back. You suffer from cyclical weight gain and or dieter's dilemma. And you think it's unfair how some people seem to stay healthy and fit without doing anything, while you struggle a lot. Well, you should know it's not your fault. The reason you're having these problems is because you're simply not aware or applying the Gravitostat equation. And it's likely that you might have a dysregulated fat loss system in your body that follows the rules of this equation. And if you're not aware of it, you might be making the same mistakes over and over again, limiting your fat loss ability and perhaps preventing progress altogether. So I want to commend you for being here and willing to learn about what 99% of people haven't learned yet. The system I'm talking about is called the Gravitostat. This system was discovered by Professor Jan-Olof Jansson and his team of researchers and published in a research paper in 2020. The system is based on incredible cells in our body called osteocytes, thousands of them in our bones, and specifically in our legs. They discovered that these osteocytes actually are our body's natural fat-fighting warriors. that work together with the brain and the rest of the body to achieve something called homeostatic weight regulation, land animals' own weight management mechanism. You see, when these osteocyte cells in the lower legs feel pressure, they immediately start firing signals to our brain. And what do these signals do? They tell the brain to naturally decrease appetite and increase energy metabolism to get rid of excess fat. It's like having a built-in weight management system, the same ones that's been keeping animals in the wild safe for millions of years. Jan-Olof and his team determined that the gravitostat works according to something resembling a set point theory. Essentially, the body has a preferred weight defined by two interval limits, one upper limit and one lower limit. If the body weight goes below the lower limit, mechanisms will kick in to encourage the body to gain weight, and if the body weight goes above the upper limit, other mechanisms will kick in to encourage the body to lose weight. Simply put, the body fights to keep its weight constant around a certain weight. The guard protecting the lower limit is the leptin system, and its purpose is to protect against starvation. That's why dieting is so hard and doesn't work for most people, because at a certain point your body starts working against you. The purpose of the second guard is to protect the upper limit against obesity, and it is this guard that is the gravitostat. But here's the thing, for some people, these set points can end up being dysregulated, meaning the point at which the gravitostat steps in is much higher than it should be. That means the gravitostat is never triggered, and the body never understands that it has put on too much fat. We currently don't know exactly what causes the gravitostat to become dysregulated. It's likely a combination of many different genetic and situational factors. However, we do think that lifestyle and environment plays an important role, and this is something that is in your control. You see, in our modern world, we spend most of our time sitting, and I'm willing to bet you are probably sitting or laying down right now. That means the osteocytes in your legs barely feel any pressure at all. They're practically asleep, and that's why we're constantly hungry even after a full meal, why those cravings feel impossible to fight, and why fat loss seems impossible. The gravitostat is never activated and the body never realizes that it's too heavy. But that's not all. Jan-Olof and his team discovered something else that is incredible. By standing more and strategically wearing extra weight, not only can you wake those sleeping osteocytes up again and get your body's natural fat burning system working as normal, but you can actually use it to your advantage to burn even more fat than your body naturally would with only your own body weight. You can essentially manipulate your set points to trick your gravitostat into thinking you're heavier than you actually are, to lose fat and maintain a leaner physique. And as previously mentioned, this concept has been proven multiple times in different research studies and in different species, including mice, pigeons, and humans, all showing very promising results. After learning about the science behind the gravitostat, I was hooked. I realized diet and exercise doesn't work for most people because it is based on systems for fat loss that work against the body. But what if we could flip it and work with the body instead of against it? What if there's a way to concentrate our efforts to where it matters most? And we can. And the answer is to wear weight as much as possible for as long as possible, as often as possible. You don't need to spend hours in the gym. You don't need to follow restrictive diets that make you miserable. You just need to activate your body's natural weight regulation system to work with your body's mechanisms for fat loss instead of against them. I thought that must be the easiest and most efficient way to ensure a fit and healthy body. As I dove deeper into the science, I learned about how exactly the gravitostat works to promote fat loss. You see, it's not what you think. To my surprise, the main observed factor was decreased food intake. Somehow it seems that activating the gravitostat leads to decreased appetite. Because the body gets the signal that it is already holding on to enough fat, it feels satisfied and does not need food in the same way anymore, leading to reduced cravings. That also means activating the gravitostat can help with dieting because you feel better and won't be hungry and think about food all the time. However, there was also another observation that is hard to see with the naked eye, but inevitably is there, and it is probably the most groundbreaking effect of the gravitostat. You see, it is well established that if you're able to stay in a caloric deficit over time, you lose weight. But you're not only losing fat, you're also losing muscle. And while the gravitostat helps to prevent obesity and achieve fat loss, Professor Jan-Olof and his team concluded that it doesn't make you lose muscle mass. In contrast, it can even help you build muscle to better support the weight that you're carrying.
One important aspect regarding the gravitostat is actually that the loading could be the one of the very few methods that could result in both a decrease in body fat mass and at the same time an increase in muscle mass.
The reasoning is that it would be very counterproductive for the body to get rid of muscle and bone, the very pillars holding up the weight in the first place. And this is incredible. Gravitostat activation is the only proven fat loss method that achieves this, in a big contrast to traditional dieting and drugs such as Ozempic and GLP analogs.
Decreasing lean body mass for those GLP-1 analogs, which Ozempic is one example. The lean body mass reduction there can be around from 20 to 40% of the total lost body weight. So it's quite a significant loss in lean mass for these GLP-1 analogs.
Finally, everything started to make sense. Dieting doesn't work because the body's leptin system kicks in against you to protect against starvation, and the gravitostat can become dysregulated, with the body never realizing that it has too much fat. And by standing up more and wearing extra weight, it's possible to reactivate the gravitostat and trick it into thinking the body is heavier than it actually is, using the body's natural mechanisms to lose fat and prevent obesity through decreased appetite. That's amazing, but wait, there's more. By activating the gravitostat, not only do you decrease appetite, but you also increase energy metabolism in the body, the complete opposite of the leptin system. And to explain this part, we have to debunk what is probably the biggest misconception about fat loss ever. It absolutely blew my mind the first time I heard it. And that is, contrary to common belief, that exercise actually is the most inefficient way to lose fat. In fact, exercising to lose fat can even be counterproductive, and by instead focusing on utilizing the power of the gravitostat, you can lose fat without having to exercise and get the most bang for your buck. You see, the body's total energy expenditure can be neatly divided into TDEE, and exercise is very inefficient for fat loss because it only accounts for about 5 to 10% of TDEE, and it relies on short-term energy stores in the body, making you crave and require even more food afterwards to make up for it. You see what a tiny piece of total energy expenditure exercise is? It can be a bit lower than that and a bit higher, depending on if you don't do any exercise at all or if you're an elite athlete with multiple intense workouts every day. But for the normal person, it's typically between 0 to 10% of total energy expenditure. The reason why is simply because our bodies are evolutionarily developed to make physical activity as efficient as possible. When a leopard runs to catch a prey, they're very fast, but also quite energy expensive. They're optimized for speed. However, for humans, we're not the strongest, we're not the biggest or the fastest, but we do have very high endurance. That is what has allowed us to engage in persistence hunting and outlast almost every other land animal over long distances, which is great when you're a starving caveman hunting animals because you can get the maximum output for minimal input. But it's not really great when you want to lose fat, because you have to work very hard just to lose a little bit of fat. And because the body is adapted to get more efficient over time, there is also a diminishing marginal return in fat loss efficiency from exercise, which means you need to keep working harder and harder and harder to burn the same amount of energy. That is why it's so hard to get in shape and why you will never lose fat purely from exercise. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not anti-exercise, quite the opposite. Exercise has a lot of other wonderful benefits, for example for muscle strength, the cardiovascular system, and mental health, and more. And is a great way to temporarily increase energy expenditure in the body. But in terms of fat loss efficiency, measured as the output you get based on the amount of work and effort you put in, exercise is not the answer. Instead, the most efficient way to achieve fat loss is to focus on the other parts of the body's total energy expenditure. The other pillars are made out of TEF, NEAT, and BMR, and occur every day whether you think about it or not. And as you can see, they typically cover more than 90% of total energy expenditure. This is what you need to be focusing on, yet it is totally neglected by most people. And even a small change in any of these pillars yields great results. Now what is the most interesting here is the NEAT and BMR. NEAT stands for non-exercise activity thermogenesis and consists of the small, daily movements throughout the day that works the body but is not specifically exercise. For example, walking, standing, sitting, and standing up, housework, etc. It can account for as much as 15% of TDE every day, which is even more than a serious athlete training hard every day. And the beautiful thing is, by adding weight to your body throughout daily life, you're able to increase NEAT. The added weight creates an inevitable increase in workload required to do the very same daily movements. because you have to move around a larger weight. But that's not all. Look at this big chunk right here, the BMR, basal metabolic rate, accounting for up to 70% of TDE. The basal metabolic rate consists of all the basic internal functions necessary to keep the body alive. The liver, brain, heart, kidneys, and other organs are a crucial part of this. And here it is still uncertain how exactly the gravitostat impacts all the different parts. But similarly to how the leptin system decreases BMR to save energy, the gravitostat increases BMR to burn more energy. And because BMR is such an enormous part of TDEE, any small change matters a lot. You see, even when you don't work out, muscles and bones are not static. Their cells are constantly broken down and regenerated in a process known as anabolism. And this process takes energy. Anabolic growth and preservation of muscle and bones can account for up to 20 to 30% of BMR. That's why people who've already put on muscle have an easier time staying lean and have to eat more to maintain the muscle they've put on. And by consistently wearing extra weight, you put extra pressure on your muscles and bones to carry you and keep you upright, leading to positive changes in the basal metabolic rate. So all of this means, apart from leading to decreased appetite, wearing weight also leads to increased energy expenditure. At this point, it had become clear to me that by making small, simple adjustments to our daily routine and incorporating extra weight into our everyday life, we can start working with the body's natural fat regulating systems instead of against them, and focus our efforts where they matter most, by harnessing the power of the gravitostat. So I decided to start focusing on perfecting a way to activate the gravitostat, because I felt it could have an enormous potential to transform millions of lives. And I came up with this equation. The gravitostat signal equals weight times time times activity. Meaning, the secret to effortless fat loss is to wear as much weight as possible for as long as possible, as often as possible, while standing, walking, or doing any other activity on your feet. There was just one problem though. How the heck do you make it comfortable to wear heavy weight over long periods of time? There was no available weight equipment for this purpose, and that was when my journey as an inventor began. Jan-Olof and his team mentioned that, despite their expertise, they just couldn't create something heavy enough to be effective and comfortable enough for humans to wear over long periods of time. After all, they are medical researchers, not product developers. And previously, they had used weight vests in their experiments, but that's just not cutting it for the everyday person. You can't wear a weight vest to school or to the office. It looks ugly and bulky, it's uncomfortable. It's designed for exercise, not everyday wear. So I partnered with Jan-Olof's research team to start Natural Resistance and develop the world's thinnest, heaviest weighted fabric. It's made out of pure tungsten, an exclusive material heavier than gold, one of the densest materials in the universe. We engineered it to be as heavy as possible while still being soft, slim, and elastic, and promoting perfect weight distribution, all while looking just like normal fabric and remaining virtually invisible under normal clothes. We tested different weights, fabric compositions, and wear schedules, refined the system to maximize fat loss while minimizing lifestyle disruption, optimize fit, temperature regulation, and breathability, minimize the costs to make it as affordable as possible, available to the public masses, and more. Think about how much of a game changer that is. Imagine losing fat without spending a single minute in a gym, enjoying your favorite foods guilt-free, and transforming your body during daily activities you're going to do no matter if you plan on losing weight or not. Well, that is what happens once you give up on all the traditional fat loss strategies that work against the natural systems in your body and start focusing on executing the gravitostat activation system instead. Once the gravitostat activation system is fully dialed in, you're able to lose and maintain a fit and athletic body while working 60 plus hours per week and spending minimal time in the gym. You can enjoy restaurant meals and drinks with friends without guilt, and you never have to spend a single minute meal prepping or counting calories. I am using the Gravitostat activation system myself, and I can personally guarantee that it works. Do I look like a bodybuilder? No, but I think we can all agree that I'm in pretty good shape. I'm healthy, and I'm spending no extra time working out other than when I want to, and I can enjoy life while still staying lean as a normal person. And of course, after having spent all these years developing a new solution and seeing the results for myself, I couldn't help but to share it with others, to help them experience the same results I have. So I started posts on social media, helping other people activate the Gravitostat for themselves, showing them exactly what to do, how to wear the clothing, what activities to focus on, how to structure their days for maximum fat loss, and the feedback has been amazing. Here are just some of the people who have tried on the clothing. And here is what they have to say about the fabric when they feel it for the first time.
Oh wow, it's heavy.
It's very heavy.
Oj!
Gosh.
Oh yeah, wow.
Wow. Ooh.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh wow.
Oh, wow.
Ajo, sí que pesa. Vale.
Wow.
Whoa. Whoa.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh, it's heavier than I expected.
They all say it's amazing and that they've never felt anything like it. And the reason is because they haven't. The natural resistance garments are truly unique in the world, one of its kind. And with more than 4 million views on social media and counting, we are now packaging the whole Gravitostat activation system and natural resistance garments into a comprehensive program to share with the world. The same program that has delivered life-changing results for me and those who have tried it. By following the Gravitostat activation principles and wearing weighted clothing every day, Natural Resistance gives you everything you need to burn fat all day long. You will get custom-fitted weighted garments designed to activate your Gravitostat system. We'll show you exactly how to integrate them seamlessly into your daily routine. A dedicated online coach to guide you through every step of the process. Plus, you'll be matched with an accountability partner to keep you on track. And get access to our exclusive community filled with people just like you, all supporting each other on the journey to effortless fat loss. On top of that, we'll show you how to structure your days for maximum fat burning potential, activity-specific recommendations tailored to your unique lifestyle, what to eat to maximize fat loss, and much more. With this program, you'll have the complete blueprint, support system, and tools needed to go from struggling to shedding pounds effortlessly. Imagine what your life would look like with a body you're proud of and a schedule that isn't consumed by diet and exercise. No more feeling guilty for skipping the gym. No more cravings and starving hunger. No more stress. Instead, you're burning fat all day long by just going about your normal routine. Your time is spent on things you enjoy, not bland foods or mind-numbing cardio that doesn't work. You're confidently wearing clothes you love because everything fits perfectly. Other people ask how you stay in such great shape despite your busy schedule, and you just smile and tell them you cracked the code. This is your new reality with Natural Resistance. But here's the thing. Natural Resistance is not for everybody. We're only interested in working with the absolute most committed people that we are 100% sure that we can help, and will pull through to consistently wear the garments every day to get big results. Because we have very limited time and resources, and it would be such a shame to waste it on people who end up not using them. With over 750 people on the waitlist, we don't even have enough fabric to make garments for everyone who contacts us. And frankly, if you can't commit to wearing weighted clothing a few hours a day, I don't think you'll ever get in shape. It is the easiest and most efficient way to lose fat. So, just to clarify who exactly we're looking for. You need to be serious and ready to commit. You currently have a sedentary lifestyle and are willing to make the adjustments to stand more, or you already stand a lot. And this is important. Otherwise, it will not work. And you're already overweight or obese and want to lose fat, and or you suffer from cyclical weight gain, also known as dieter's dilemma. This indicates that the Gravitostat is the reason. The program works best for people who are already around the upper limit or over their upper body weight interval. Others still benefit from the program, but not to the same extent because the effect of the extra weight gets saturated by the interval. So for them, it's more about maintaining the body that they have rather than losing extra fat. So if this is you, then we're extra keen on hearing from you because the program has the potential to be extra effective for you. So make sure to book a free consultation on the link below. And make sure to be quick because the slots are running out like fat on autopilot. And we're not sure when we have to shut the offer down. And if this is not you, we'll still love to hear from you, but please don't book the consultation. Instead, follow us on social media and send us a message there. We know that this program is amazing and we'd love to be connected with everyone who gets it or want to learn more about it. Our goal is to be able to help as many people as possible. So by staying in touch, you make sure you will be the first to know when we can open up the opportunity for more people. But I repeat, if this isn't you, please do not book a consultation. So, what are you waiting for? If you fit the criteria we're looking for, book your free consultation right now. and let's transform your life.